welcome to Radio One Verona, your local late-night news podcast, keeping our viewers informed on all of Verona's current events since 1456. I'm your host, Lucas Lopez Jensen, and today I'm joined by a very special guest from the new documentary telling the tale of two young lovers in our very own hometown, Romeo and Juliet. Welcome to the show, Mercutio.
Thanks for having me, Lucas. I haven't had a pleasure this great, this late at night, in quite some time.
Mercutio, since the documentary's release last Friday, people have been talking about it nonstop. The Montague-Capulet feud, the several young lives lost, and all of the drama and tragedy around the situation has been tremendous. You've gotten a lot of press lately, mostly around the fact that you're still alive. In the documentary, specifically in Act 3, Scene 1, you supposedly die in a fight against Tybalt, one of the Capulets. How are you joining me here tonight?
Well, Lucas, something people have ignored is that in the documentary, particularly that scene, there's no footage of my death, unlike Tybalt, Paris, and of course Romeo and Juliet. After Tybalt stabs me, and everyone thinks I'm about to become quite the grave man, Benvolio carries me off camera and proceeds to re-enter, saying that I've died. Now, I don't mean to degrade Benvolio here. He's a great man, and I'll respect him until the day I actually do die, but Benvolio isn't a doctor. He knows as much about medicine as Romeo knows about love. He saw that I was hurt and passed out from the pain. That's it. Benvolio didn't even check for a pulse. He just ran screaming back to Romeo. He's dead! He's dead! I totally checked it out and we can all believe me when I say he's dead! I woke up a few hours after everyone left the crime scene, and I looked down at my huge, red, throbbing sword injury, and of course I crawled off to find some help for it. Soon I came across an actual doctor, and he was able to save me. Because I didn't want to get more involved in the revelry surrounding the Montagues and Capulets, I fled to Mantua, and was living a pretty good life on my own until the media found me.
That is absolutely fascinating. I had no idea that the documentary glossed over you so much, especially when in the second half your potential interactions with the others could have been so valuable to the developments of the events, possibly preventing the suicide of your close friend. Any thoughts on that?
Lucas, you seem to have forgotten that Romeo was almost responsible for my death. When I said a plague on both your houses, I meant it. Romeo and I haven't spoken since that night, and we don't ever intend to again. With some few exceptions like Benvolio, all Montagues and Capulets are vicious monsters of war with no remorse for their actions. But enough about my undying new hatred for Romeo. Let's get back to how I constantly cover up my pain with humor.
Sure, we can cover something lighter. What about the night where you, Romeo, and Benvolio snuck into Capulet's ball? The camera pretty closely followed Romeo that night. What did you do as he met Juliet?
That night was probably one of the best of my life. Even if you're only a torch carrier, ladies love a guy in a band. And let me tell you, while Romeo was doing his long, corny serenade to Juliet, going about love entirely the wrong way, my fiddlestick and I were getting quite the attention in the other room.
I'm sorry?
Oh, you know, my fiddlestick. The token name I gave my sword. While Romeo was romancing Juliet, I got into some playful sword fights with some other guests. I wasn't just leading you on about the women, though. Capulet might be a brutal warlord, but the girls at his balls know how to party.
That was humorous. You just implied that Romeo doesn't know anything about how to go about love. What do you mean by that?
Well, in my opinion, love is a delusion of the human mind, a dream that we sometimes never wake up from. Queen Mab takes over the lives of innocent people, sends them into a downward spiral of willing suicide for each other, and eventually that's what happens. If you want to test which way of approaching women is better, take the case of Romeo's night and compare it to mine at the Capulet ball. At the end of the night, who left with their goals accomplished? Who was done with the event and ready to move on to the next? Who was able to free their minds of it for even 1 second after it happened? Mercutio, that's who. Not some fools who were in a mutual delusion of love and later took their own lives for it.
Thank you, Mercutio. You've clearly shown the audience your attitude on several important subjects of life and given us a bit of a behind-the-scenes look at your story in Romeo and Juliet. Now it's the time when we ask our viewers to call in, giving their questions to our guests. Care to take a call?
Sure. Hello?
Mercutio, one of the many great opponents that have fallen to my blade. How goes it, dirty consorter of Montagues?
My god, Tybalt, what the hell are you doing? I saw the footage. Romeo killed you like he kills genuine emotion with his endless oxymorons and metaphors. Did that documentary seriously miss 2 major deaths?
Oh, it did indeed, my adversary. After I was left unconscious for the prince to see me and banish Romeo, some Capulet-serving men even took me to the same death-defying doctor as you went to yourself. I would have returned to slay Romeo, but by the time I could recover enough to search for him, it seems that the Montague trash did it himself. Why did you not return to the bloodshed, you coward?
I left the murder that your disgusting house caused when I could because I wanted to survive, Tybalt. An age-old feud killing innocent people for no reason is absolutely vile, and I fled for my life to escape your irrationality.
Irrationality? I'll show you irrationality, you despicable comic. I'm directly outside of the recording studio as we speak. Prove your worth and see what it's like to truly fight a Capulet. I won't hold back this time.
My fiddlestick is sitting right in front of me, King of Cats. I'll give you a stabbing so brutal your arrogant grandchildren will have scars. Lucas, this interview is on hold. Get your next question for me at the ready. Does Capulet flesh taste as vile as it smells?
Oh, I'm afraid that's all the time we have tonight, folks.
Security, use the weird 21st century technology we inexplicably have in this time period to break up that fight.
We'll see you tomorrow night, here at Radio One Verona.
Seriously, don't we have some guns or something?